Welcome, my dear students, to the class of 12th English Medium. The subject is Statistics, Part 2, Chapter 3, Normal Distribution, brought to you by Vitan Sir. In my previous video, we discussed illustrations from number 4 to number 8. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss some further illustrations. Illustration number 9. If z is a standard normal variable and z1 is a z-score value, then obtain the values of z1 which satisfies the following. First one, p negative 1 less than equal to z less than equal to z1, which is 0.5255. Number 2, p z1 less than equal to z less than equal to 2, which is 0.7585. Now, as you can see here, two ranges are given in which one value is there. For example, in the first one, negative 1 is there. In the second one, 2 is there. But the second part of the range is Z1, which is unknown. And equal to probability values are provided. That means we have to check out the table in the reverse order and calculate the values of Z1 for this given equations. We will start with the first one here. Probability negative 1 less than equal to z less than equal to z1 is 5255. So first thing we need to know that if because negative 1 is on the left part of the curve, where should z1 be shown? From previous sums, the area between negative 1 and 0 is 3413. We already know that. But the area in the question is more than that value. That means if we start from the negative 1 and come up to 0, it is 3413. The area in the question is more than that. That means z1 must be on the right hand side of the curve. So negative 1 is on the left hand side of the curve, z1 is on the right hand side of the curve, and the area between these two is 0.5255. That means when I draw the curve, it will be something like this. Negative 1 on the left hand side of the curve and z1 on the right hand side of the curve, and this is the area which we are going to calculate. Now the area from negative 1 to 0 is 3413, and our question is 5255. That means some extra area is required which will be on the right hand side of the curve. Okay, so looking at this curve, we can create an equation which is negative 1 to 0 plus 0 to z1, that is 5255. Now negative 1 table value we know it is 3413. Z1 we have to calculate. So what we are going to do, we are going to take a difference of 5255 and 3413. So 0 to Z1 will be 5255 minus 3413, that is 1842. Now we have to take our table in the reverse order. So let's check out 1842 value. Now 111, 1115, 19. So let's go back a bit. 1844 and 1808. Now you can see 1842 is somewhere between 1808 and 1844, but 1808 is a lot far away from 1842. We need 1842, which is a lot nearer to 1844. So looking at the table, 1844 has a z value 0.4h. So we are going to take the same value. Z1 will be taken as 0.4h. Okay, now in this question we are only supposed to calculate the value of z1, so we will end it there. We will move forward with the second one. Now here z1 less than equal to z less than equal to 2 is to be calculated, which is 7585. Now we know that 2 will be on the right hand side of the curve because it is a positive value, and 2 to 0, the area between 0 to 2 is 4772. That we already know, but the area in the question is more than that. That means when we calculate area between z1 and 2, it is 7585, and 0 to 2 is 4772, which is less than that. That means z1 will be on the left part of the curve. So when we draw the curve, we will draw something like this. Z1 on the left part of the curve and 2 on the right part of the curve, and this is the highlighted part which we are going to calculate. So looking at the curve, we will take it as Z1 to 0 and 0 to 2, which is 7585. From the table, although we already know, but let's check out the table. From the table, we know that 2 has a table values of 4772. So we will change the side of 4772 to subtract it from 7585. So Z1 to 0 will be 2813. Now we will take this, we will find this value, try to find this value in the table. So 2813. So starting with the 2, then 28, 22, 25, 28, but it is 81. So let's go back a bit. 2852, 2823, 2794. Now we need to calculate 2813. This is 2823 and 2794. So this 2813 will be somewhere between these two values, and both of them have almost equal distance from each other. So what we are going to do, we are going to take an LCM, average 0.77 and 0.78. But to remember that these values are negative values because Z1 is on the left part of the curve. So negative 0.77 and negative 0.78, average will be negative 0.775. So the Z value for this question will be negative 0.775. So the probability, the area between negative 0.775 and 2 is 7585. That's what we are trying to say here. Let's move forward with the next illustration. Illustration 10. In a city, daily sale of petrol pump follows normal distribution. Its mean and SD are 33,000 and 3,000 liters respectively. First question, obtain the percentage of days of a month during which the daily sale of petrol is less than 30,000 liters. Second one, during May, how many months, how many days are expected to have sale of petrol between 32,000 and 35,000 liters? Okay, so let's write down the data here, which we have mu, that is mean 33,000 liters, and sigma is 3,000 liters. We will start with the first question where we have to find the percentage of days of a month which has daily sales less than 30,000 liters. So X has a value less than 30,000, X less than equal to 30,000. So just convert this into the Z value, which is Z less than equal to 30,000 minus 33,000 upon 3,000. And when you solve this, you get Z less than equal to negative 1. So put this into our curve here, and Z is less than or equal to negative 1. Now negative 1 is on the left hand side of the curve, and less than that means it goes up to negative infinity. Now because it goes up to negative infinity, we have to calculate values as negative infinity to 0, and from that subtract the area value of negative 1 to 0. Okay, so we will remove negative infinity to 0, we will remove negative 1 to 0 from negative infinity to 0 to get negative infinity to negative 1. Now we know that negative infinity is 0.5 and negative 1 is 0.3413. Now this is kind of this has been repeated many times, so we don't even need a table for that. But if you guys need a table, just check out your textbooks in front of you. So the difference here is 0.1587. But now that is not the end of the question. The question is about percentage of days, and how to calculate a percentage. Multiply your probability with 100. Okay, you will get 15.87 percentages. So that means out of the total, 15.87 percentages of the days will have sales of petrol less than 30,000 liters per day. Okay, so that's how we solve this question. Let's move on towards the second question of this. Question number 2, X has value between 32,000 and 35,000. Okay, the question was, this is a month of May, but before that we have to actually calculate probability where X is between 32,000 and 35,000. So it's pretty simple. So when we convert it into our Z value, 32,000 minus 33,000 upon 3,000 and 35,000 minus 33,000 upon 3,000, solve this and you get negative 0.33 and 0.67. So naturally you draw a curve here depicting negative 0.33 on the left hand side and positive 0.67 on the right hand side, and the area in between these two is our probability. So negative 0.33 to 0 and 0 to 0.67 is what we are going to calculate. Now 0.33 and 0.67 table value we will check out, starting with 0.33. So that is 0.3 in the column of 03, so it is 1293, and 0.67 is zero point 0.6 in the column of 7, which is 2486. So just add these two values 1293 and 2486 to get the answer 3779. Now this is your probability value, but the question is about expected days in the month of May, and using common sense we know that May has 31 days. So if you want to find expected days in May, we have studied in the second chapter, total values or total numbers multiplied by the probability gives you the expected value. So here May has 31 days, we will multiply 31 days with the probability to get expected days in the month of May, which is 11.71, but days are in, whole numbers, so approximately 12 days. So in the month of May, approximately 12 days will see the sales of daily petrol between 32,000 and 35,000 liters. I hope you guys are getting how we solve these sums. Moving on towards the next illustration. Illustration 11. Now 200 students are selected from all the students of the school, and their marks obtained in an examination of 100 marks follows normal distribution with mean marks as 60 and standard deviation of marks is 8 marks. We have to calculate if 70 or more marks are required for special scholarship, then how many students will get these special scholarship. Now this is a bit different question from now, whatever sums we have done till now, and this is obtain minimum marks of 10% students getting maximum marks. Both of these questions are unique questions, they have come for the very first time. Even the total number of students is a new value which we will depict as capital N. Okay, so total number of students are capital N, which are 200 students. Average marks are 60 and standard deviation is 8. Both of these questions are very unique, we have seen them for the very first time. Let's see how we can solve this first one. X has value more than or equal to 70 marks. Okay, we need students getting scholarships. When do students get scholarship? When they score marks of 70 or more. So we have to depict it as 70 or more. So X has a value 70 or more, but when we convert it into a Z value, it becomes 70 minus 60 upon 8 less than equal to Z, which will get you the Z value of 1.25. So the Z value of 1.25 or more can be depicted in our curve. First of all, 1.25 will be on the positive side, and our probability, our students must get more than this. More than this means on the right hand side up to positive infinity. So you can see from the curve that we will be splitting it as 0 to infinity minus 0 to 1.25. Now from the table we know that infinity has 0.5 value, and 1.25 if we want to calculate it will be 1.2 in the 5 column, 05 column, so 3944, and the difference is 1056. Now in the question we are not supposed to calculate probability, we are supposed to calculate number of students. Now total number of students in the question are 200, so we will be multiplying our probability with 200 students to get the expected number of students as 21.12, but students are human beings, they cannot be expressed in decimal values. So on approximately 21 students out of 200 students will get the scholarship. Okay, so these are the practical questions which we can face, and the answer of which we can find using the normal distribution. The number of students are 200, the probability that they get 70 or more marks for the purpose of scholarship is 0.1056. So when we multiply these two values, we get approximately 21 students who can or who may get this scholarship according to our probability. Okay, and usually normal distribution has a big data, so usually it is quite accurate. We will move forward with the second question, which will require a bigger understanding. Second question, minimum marks of 10% students getting maximum marks. Okay, now this is something which requires our deep understanding. We are supposed to calculate the minimum marks of 10% students getting maximum marks. That it means that out of the top 10% students getting maximum marks, of all of the students, what are the minimum marks? Naturally, the maximum marks are depicted on the right hand side of the curve. Okay, so therefore when we draw the curve, we write it as x is greater than x1, where we write x1 as the minimum marks. Now for example, out of 200 students, 10% mean 20 students are the toppers. Okay, out of 200 students, 10% means 20 students are the toppers, and of those 20 students, what are the marks of the 20th student? So that would be the minimum marks of the top 10% students. So that's what we are trying to calculate here. So all of the other students have marks greater than the 20th students, so that 20th student is shown as x1 and others are greater than x1. So x1 less than equal to x is 10%. So we will be calculating, we will be converting this into our z-score. So x1 minus mu upon sigma, mu is 60, sigma is 8. So x1 minus 60 upon 8 less than equal to z. Now percentage is, when we convert it in or we simplify it, it becomes 10 upon 100. Okay, percentage means upon 100, so 10 upon 100. We are converting these percentages into our probability, that's why I'm dividing it with 100. So x1 minus 60 upon 8 is assumed as z1. So z1 less than equal to z is the probability 0.1. Now if I want to depict it using my curve, then naturally uh, greater than means on the right hand side of the curve, the rightmost side of the curve, I will start with positive infinity here. And you see that from positive infinity I have to calculate 0.1, and because they are the toppers, naturally they are going to be on the right hand side of the curve. So z1 is on the right hand side of the curve, and this is the highlighted part. So I just have to highlight the 0.1 probability, and this singular line, this vertical line I get, is the minimum marks of the whole toppers list of students, and this is what I want to calculate. So from looking at the curve, to calculate this, we will get a difference of 0 to infinity and 0 to z1. So now this is pretty much simple, what we have already studied. uh, you see 0 to infinity is 0.5. I have changed the side of 0.1 here, which is 0.4. Okay, difference, and that would be the area of 0 to z1. Now from looking at my table in the inverse order, I have to check out 0.4. Now 0.4, so first 0 0 1 1 1 2 2 3 3 3 3 4, but I just need 0.4, so I have to backtrack a bit and see here. I get 3997 and 3980. Now this 3997 is pretty much near to 0.4, almost near, because there is only 0.0003 difference. So that I am going to take directly 1.28. Okay, 1.28 is the z value for 0.3997, and because z1 is a positive value, this will also be a positive value, so 1.28. But that does not end, because in the question we are not supposed to calculate z value, we are supposed to calculate x1 value. So here we converted x1 minus 60 upon 8 into z1, so we will reconvert this z1 into x1 minus 60 upon 8, which is 1.28. Now I will change the side of 8 in the division to 8 in the multiplication, so it will be x1 minus 60 is equal to 10.24. Next I will change this negative 60 to positive 60 on the opposite side, so it will be x1 is equal to 70.24 marks, and to round it off, x1 will be approximately 70 marks. That means the minimum marks scored by the top 10% students with maximum marks will be 70 marks. I hope you guys got it properly. I mean, you understood it properly, right? Let's hope that. Moving on, to the last illustration of this tutorial. The monthly income of 1000 employees follows normal distribution. Now, in the textbook, they have not written 1000 here, they have just written a group of employees, but that's a pretty much printing mistake, because in the question itself, you will need this number 1000 employees, for which they have not given any explanation where they got it. So I assume that this is a printing mistake, and so I have included this 1000 directly in the question itself. 1000 employees follow normal distribution with mean 15,000, standard deviation 4,000. We have to obtain number one, range of monthly income for middle 60% of employees. Number two, if monthly income of 250 employees is between 15,000 and a certain fixed income of rupees x1, then find the value of x1. Let's start by writing down the total employees as 1000, mean and SD and all that. So n1000, mu 15,000, sigma 4,000. Let's start with the first one. We have to obtain the range of the monthly income for middle 60% employees. When I say middle 60% employees, that means these employees have a lower value x1, an upper value x2, and the number of employees between these two income limits are 60%. Okay, so x1 less than equal to x less than equal to x2 is equal to 60%. Now this middle 60% word is very important, but I will get back to it in a bit. So when I convert my x variable into z variable, I will subtract mu and divide sigma in both the x1 and x2, and I will be converting this 60% into regular values, probability, so 60 upon 100. Now this x1 minus 15,000 upon 4,000 will be z1, x2 minus 15,000 upon 4,000 will be z2. So probability of z1 less than equal to z less than equal to z2 is 0.6. Now I am drawing the curve here, in which you have to keep in mind one thing. We are talking about middle 60% employees. Middle means their 60% will be in the exact middle, and because this line, this 0 is in the exact middle, the 30% will be on the left side and 30% will be on the right side. That means you will have the same distance from both the sides towards the 0. So this area here will represent the 30%, and this area here will represent the 30%. You just divide 60% with 2. So z1 to z2 is 0.6. So when you divide it with 2, okay, you are adding these two values, right? When you divide it with 2, because the curve is symmetric and distance of 0 to z1 and 0 to z2 will be similar, you will get z1 to 0 is equal to 0 to z2 is equal to 0.3. So area from z1 to 0 will be equal to area from 0 to z2, and both of them will be 0.3. So now we will calculate it using individual values. That is, we will take from for first z1 to 0 equal to 0.3 and take a reverse table, then 0 to z2 which will be equal to 0.3, and then take a reverse table. This is only possible when middle word is used, middle 60% or middle 50% or 40% or 80% or 90%. Any value is acceptable, any value can be used as we want. Okay, there is no restriction here. If you take a middle 80%, 40% on the left side, 40% on the right side. If you take a middle 90%, then 45% on the left side, 45% on the right side, and so on. Okay, we will start by taking p z1 less than z less than 0 is equal to 0.3. Now because 0 is already there in one of our values here, right? In what we need for this reverse table is 0 should be there. So we will directly take the table into inverse order, and for that we need the table. Now 0.3, so 0 0 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 is there, but we just need 3. So we'll backtrack a bit, and yes, 2995 and 3023. What we have here is 2995 and 3023. Now 2995 is naturally very much closer to 0.3, while 3023 is a lot far away. So we will take 2995 as the nearmost value to 0.3, and the z value for that is 0.84. Now naturally this z1 is in the negative corner, so 0.84 will be negative 0.84. Now we know from the previous slide that z1 actually represents x1 minus 15,000 upon 4,000, which is negative 0.84. So we will change the side of 4,000 and multiply this negative value with it, and we will get x1 minus 15,000 is equal to negative 3360. So change this 15,000 to the opposite side. Negative 3360 plus 15,000 is 11,640. So the lower value for x1 is 11,640. Similarly, for 0 less than z less than z2 0.3, we will get the same value. The only difference is that z2 will be positive, so this 0.84 will also be positive. It's okay even if we don't check out the table again, because both of these values must be same because we have a symmetric curve here. In the place of z2, we will put x2 minus 15,000 upon 4,000 is equal to positive 0.84, multiply 4,000 with positive 0.84. So it will be 3360. Then add 15,000 into 3360, you will get 18,360. So the limits of the middle 60% employees, the income of the middle 60% employees limit is 11,640 and 18,360 rupees. Okay, so these kind of questions are hot favorite for the board question papers. 4-mark questions of this types have been asked many times in the board examinations, but if you are studying this in the 2020, then most probably you will not get this kind of questions in the board exams, but this is for your information purpose. We are still left with the second question of that illustration, where probability 15,000 less than equal to x less than equal to x1. That is, the 250 employees were having their income between 15,000 rupees and the x1 rupee. 250 employees out of 1000, so naturally that is also kind of a probability. So the probability of employees getting income between 15,000 and x1 is 250 upon 1000 is how we are going to depict it. 15,000 minus 15,000 upon 4,000, x1 minus 15,000 upon 4,000, and the division of 250 upon 1000 is 0.25 naturally. Now this 15,000 is actually mu itself, so that would be 0, and this value here we will convert it as z1. So 0 to z1 is 0.25. We don't even need a curve for that, right? It is already from 0. Just check out your table in the inverse order. 0.25 we are finding here. Okay, in the probability area 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 5. We just need 25. It is 2580, so we will go back. It is 2518 and 2486. Now both of them are almost similarly far away from our value 25 exact 25. So we will take an average of both these values. So 0.67 and 0.68. And as you can see, this x1 is on the positive, z1 is on the positive side of the curve. So z1 will be positive 0.67 plus 0.68 and the average of these two values, which would be z is 0.675. Now z1 is x1 minus 15,000 upon 4,000. So x1 minus 15,000 upon 4,000 is 0.675. Multiply this 675 with 4,000. You will get 2700, and add 15,000 in there, you will get 17,700. So we can say that 250 employees will have their monthly income between 15,000 rupees and 17,700 rupees. So my dear students, I end my tutorial here. I hope you guys like this. This tutorial had many inverse table questions which may not be useful for this current year, but they will be useful in your college year, so study them properly. In case of any doubts, put them in the comment box or contact me personally. Thank you very much for watching this, and next time we will study some next tutorials and illustrations. Welcome students to Vitansar's Unacount Academy. That's better way to success for you. I am Vitan Vora and I teach accountancy, statistics and social science. You can contact me on my cell number 919426310184. Please give a sub to my channel and also check out my other video playlist which you can see on the screen. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.